Hey, this is Jim Vasilopoulos, and today we're going to have a little talk about accountability. Hot topic, everyone's always interested in how do we establish better accountability in our organization? How do we do more to delegate but actually get the benefits because we know the job is going to get done right? And accountability is a tricky subject. It's very complex. It ties into goal setting, it ties into how we delegate, how we train and mentor folks. But there's one aspect of this that I really want to draw out today because I think it's so super important. It's making sure we're not describing the output we desire, but making sure we describe the outcome we desire. There's a big difference. The output describes a work product. It describes something that we've done and spent our time on and created. And just by the virtue of describing what the output is, we're putting a ton of constraints on the creativity of an individual to express themselves and do things in their own way, leveraging their own strengths, leveraging their own knowledge. So they tend not to want to be accountable because it's not theirs. They haven't helped create that output. They're trying to satisfy something that they're trying to infer what's in your mind or trying to hit some goal that you've described in output format. When we change what we want from people and describe that in an outcome format, here is what the outcome should be: increased sales, increased customer satisfaction, happier employees, whatever the outcome is. And we give them a way in which we're going to measure it so we can say, and we'll know we're successful when we've done this. Okay? It's hard to measure output. It's much easier to measure outcomes. And when we can measure things, we can hold people accountable. We can say we've achieved our goal or not. Instead of saying, well, I gave you the report and it looks just like you described. Yeah, but the report didn't work. Well, they actually did what we asked them to do. They created something that looked like what we were describing, the output, instead of the outcome. So when we're trying to hold people accountable, or we find ourselves struggling trying to hold people accountable, pay attention to what you're describing when you're giving those commands or asking people to do things. If you're describing output, it's very likely that you're running into accountability issues. If you're describing outcomes and also examining how you're going to measure a successful outcome so that people know what victory looks like, then you'll find that accountability becomes a much smaller problem and you have much better results. So with that, focus on outcomes that are measurable and you'll have much greater success with accountability. That's all I've got for you today. Thanks.